Hello, everyone. Um, it's now 12:45 p.m. See, I didn't know it was 12:45 until after I scrolled down on my phone. Well, the sky it was already sunny maybe about a half hour ago, but it kind of is trying to look like it wants to rain. But they got a dangerous heat wave that I heard. They say that the heat wave is a dangerous heat wave that's not letting up. Well, right after I started this video, they like after I started recording, now I think they hit me with direct energy weapons to make me feel nausea. Just out of out of nowhere, randomly out of nowhere, making me feel like nausea and like a mild cramp that I did not feel just before pressing record. So my anxiety was so high last night in the middle of the night that, well, I think I tried to go to sleep about a little bit after 2 o'clock in the morning. I guess it was 2:08 a.m. I was trying to go to sleep and I couldn't sleep and my anxiety was high. So then I caught myself trying to put food in the crock pot, trying to cook. And so I felt scared to go to sleep because, I was afraid of even though it's the crock pot, I took the pasta and put it on low setting. It's the ditalini pasta. I put it on a low setting. And it was, I guess, about 2 hours and 25 minutes. And I'm like, still can't get it right. But if it was the regular stove or a regular burner, they said all it would take is 8 to 10 minutes. And so my pasta turned out to be watery and mushy, but I'm the only one that's got to eat it. Well, I may not even have to eat it, but I will eat it, So, so I took the 3 pounds of, well, it was 1 pound each of ground venison, ground lamb, and ground bison meat all together. I was able to notice the different textures. The lamb is the softest, and it seems like as if the bison is the toughest. But so I put I've been having the bison in for over 45 minutes. I mean the ground meat. So I'm feeling nervous now because one of the packets, I think it was the venison because that came in a different package. They had some like black kind of, I wouldn't say it was plastic, but it was like some black part of the packaging and then some thick paper packaging that seemed like it got stuck to the meat. And I didn't notice until the other meat, like the lamb and the bison meat, was thawed out, to the point where it was almost room temperature. But the venison meat, it was the packaging was a little bit different, so it wasn't thawed out all the way. So now I'm feeling like, you know, I didn't even know until after I put it in there. I didn't even know that they even had packaging on the back, because when I was putting it in the pot, I didn't feel any like you know how when they have when you have a pack of meat and they have like that padding, like it could be paper or plastic padding. So I didn't know until after I put it in the pot, because that was my first time, buying that. So I caught myself trying to do something special with the you know with trying to cook three the ground meat of three exotic or different animals. Well, I wouldn't say exotic, but different, unique animals. You know, especially with being tired of just beef, chicken, pork, and fish all the time, and then specific kinds of fish. So I wanted something different, and also, you hear about the fake lab-grown meat and like the 3D fake meat. It can be tuna, salmon, um, chicken, beef, and I don't know what else. But the beef is almost as expensive as the ground lamb, venison, and all that. I started to get a small pack of beef too, to put like all four of the meats together, but I didn't get the beef. But I put all that, the other three together, and I'm gonna try to use the butternut squash again. But I'm feeling like my anxiety is kind of high about that meat, and then the paper didn't even come off neatly. I was confused because the paper was so bloody that it looked like it camouflaged with being the meat, and I didn't realize that was paper. So, but anyway, I'm feeling uneasy. As I said in the video last night, I feel uneasy. I'm feeling uneasy about the Social Security situation. I'm feeling uneasy about it, and feeling anxiety about ending up back homeless again. But I try to show at least one example of people struggling, on SSI and Social Security. So when I did that video, the duet video, they have it on both YouTube and TikTok, but I did the duet on TikTok and then put it on YouTube. And damn, this fucker. So they have a fly that it flew away. I thought that I was able to successfully get some of the spray on it. So so the video had for 6 hours only 17 views, and then I refreshed the video that's on YouTube, and then after 6 hours, it refreshed from 17 views all the way to almost 3,000, like 2.7 thousand, and it had over 80 likes. So they had a couple of people that, again, abusive narcissistic gang stalkers who cannot spell. They can't spell, but then they're trying to insult me and call me an imbecile, stupid, a clown, and falsely accuse me of just trying to clout chase or do this for money and all that. When you know absolutely, I mean, for a video, for me to share a video and then wonder, who is this clown? You know, I got at least 3 insulting comments. And so, they had somebody who is perverse in every way possible, and then trying to insult me. It was, I don't remember if it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning or something when I did the video. So I have a lot on my mind. Been suffering of sleep deprivation because of what I'm going through, and I was tired and on my way. I mean, that was heavily on my mind, and I wanted to show y'all, but they're wondering. They were just making like a fake comments talking about who is this clown or who is this little girl. But at least you didn't call me a boy or a man. But I hate that you even called me a girl. I'm a woman about to be 40. And who is this girl? You know, and they try to make remarks about me having less than no facial expression. It's like, who are you to talk like that when your comments are narcissistic? So, I mean, for you to call me like an imbecile, stupid, and a clown, and money hungry, and all that, or clout chasing, and then they try to falsely accuse me of just putting that video up there for the money, when I'm just trying to spread awareness and share, the video of the elderly lady. So I'm under the impression that she looked clean enough that, she looked clean enough that I don't think she was homeless, but I think she had a place to live, but she, things financially was bad enough that she had to go out and panhandle. And people were wondering, like, where's her family? How come she don't have no family to help her? So I think she was trying to say that despite getting SSI and or Social Security, she just said disability. I don't know if it was SSI, SSDI, or Social Security, but she just said living on disability, that, the disability payments is not enough. Not enough to live off of. And then they had a lot of people on a nice bit of people on TikTok were saying that that SSI, Social Security, and all that is for us disabled people, that it's really not enough. That it's not enough to live on. So I'm sitting here getting hate comments and insulting comments, and they thought, they was wondering what was I doing on a split screen, on a side view, just looking stupid, But even if I would have been like, so if I would have made a reaction, like shaking my head, showing an angry face, they would have still called me a clown and said that I'm over exaggerating fake mannerisms. It's like, I can't win for nothing. So, and those are idiots, abusive, narcissistic, fake idiots that's just trying to take the focus off of the, they're trying to gaslight and take the focus off of the real issue. So with the government wanting to, trying to criminalize struggling Americans, while they got aid to send to Ukraine, and we're not allowed to question it, and they can help so-called migrants. So, but they got poor and homeless, disabled, elderly, children, everybody. And people say that Americans are only one paycheck away from homelessness. So I mean, and nobody, that's like the people who sold their souls to the devil so that they can have the job to work at the Social Security office, they don't care about us. They really don't. Even your own fellow black people who get to work there, they're abusive, narcissistic, and oppressive, and they don't really care. Now, what's funny is, when I say funny, I don't mean laughably funny. I mean odd, strange, peculiar, whatever. So, what's strange is, I think it was 2016, when Lisa Ruby sent for me to come move down there to Greenville, South Carolina. It was a black lady, and she looked like she was about my age or or a little younger. And and she was working at the Social Security office. She was nice attitude-wise, but just out of nowhere, I didn't even ask her. We didn't have a discussion, but she just randomly out of nowhere told me that if I ever get married, that they would cut off my benefits. But too bad I couldn't find a damn husband. Or a husband that wouldn't be an abusive, narcissistic gang stalker. So then, but the Social Security office is heavily pushing gay marriage and saying that, LGBTQIA, whatever alphabet, couples that they can be married and apply for benefits. But I was told that if I get married, they would cut my benefits off. So, they support the satanic New World Order agenda. There's nothing of God and holiness, associated with anything Social Security. They all work, they're all of the devil's system. I was ignorant to all this when I was young, blind, dumb, and in foster care and everything. Like, I'm not going to say I knew nothing about the truth, but when I was a teenager and a child and stuff, I used to get condemned for asking so many silly questions. But they would say that the questions was, me being surrounded by narcissistic sharks. So, yeah, about me asking, certain questions. Oh, what I told you about asking me all them stupid questions. Oh, what I told you about asking me all them silly questions. So, yeah. So, as I said, I don't even know if they want to try to, send me to prison or anything like that. But the online gang stalkers, the anonymous perp troll who talk about drop dead candy, you hide behind anonymity, because if you show your full face and name, and said drop dead candy, then you would go to get in so much trouble for saying something like that. You would get in so much trouble. So that's why you sit there and hide. But it's like just like the perps with the insulting comments just now. You know, well they had this. I mean, I don't even remember everybody's names who made random insulting comments. And so when I woke up this morning, that Time Jesus Saves person, I think I had an issue and blocked him on one of my other channels. And he's like an abusive, narcissistic, fake Christian perp who try to gaslight me and trying to say that I'm not being gang stalked and that, just turn to Jesus and, but for you to lie and say that I'm not being gang stalked, well, if you feel that way, then why you subscribe to me? So, anyway, I don't know if I went to bed at somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock this morning. And then I woke up at 11. But it was 4:30 and I was trying to sleep, but I could not sleep because I'm like, it's 4:30. It's ridiculous that they have high traffic and a lot of vehicles, all like just randomly without warning, just a whole bunch of loud vehicles at 4:30 this morning. A whole bunch, and it's like, where is this fake high traffic and nothing but loud vehicles? So after 30 minutes, it was about 5 o'clock, and I got frustrated and had forced to put my earbuds in. And I'm like, it's the freaking summer. It's summer. Who the fuck is like, the traffic was worse than what you hear now. It's not even high traffic right now. So all that random fake high traffic, it was a whole bunch of gang stalkers just trying to startle me and keep me awake. I could have been going to bed at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. In the middle of the night, I was cooking and washing dishes. And now I can't cook everything together, so I'm going to try to make sure the meat is thoroughly cooked. I put it on high, but I couldn't mix it. I couldn't mix it up as thoroughly as I was trying to, or as thoroughly as I want to, but it looks like the meat is, I put it on high in the crock pot, and the meat, it seems like it's producing a lot of water, and it's getting crusty and crispy on the sides. But, yeah. But it seems like all people want to do is insult and put other people down. People don't even care about others. They don't even love other people. In the video that I did about Yahoo Answers and Quora, like, I lost a lot of sleep, feeling hurt and anxiety and depression because of the cruel things that people will say on Yahoo Answers. So, I bet you, well, if I would have still been on Yahoo Answers now, you know what? before they shut Yahoo Answers down, I think Starbreaker did try to go on there and harass me too. Make a fake account to go and harass me on there and stalk me on there too. Before they shut Yahoo Answers down. But I had to block so many people, and you were limited to only 200 people to block on Yahoo Answers. So, I mean, I was tortured with being harassed, abused, and trolled. You know, and couldn't even block them because I had already blocked so many abusive people. And then some of them, their accounts were dead. And I mean, when I say dead, I mean inactive. So, but, yeah. I don't know. I'm just, I mean, they have other people on TikTok that they're saying that Social Security ain't enough, or SSI, that it's not enough. And then people were saying that the Fed now, I mean, I never heard of Fed now until after the guy, I think they said his name was Bob Lee. I never knew who the founder of CashApp was, but when I heard he got murdered, he got assassinated, and then everybody started talking about Fed Now. And people were saying that Fed Now is supposed to start this month, July, but July is here, and everybody said do not opt in to the Fed Now. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't been approached about anything associated with the Fed Now. But, you know, I heard that with the market of beasts and everything, Social Security will be definitely involved, SSI, all that, the banks and stuff. So, you know, that's why people are talking about self-sufficient living, but it's difficult trying to be a prepper or self-sufficient when you're targeted and forced homeless or forced poor with no car, or you don't, or if I have to end up giving up this place to live and be back on the streets again, you know. So people are saying don't depend on the government, don't depend on the system. And it was stuff that, you know, the foster mom, you know, she didn't she didn't raise us properly, and she kept us blinded and brainwashed. But I used to question things when I was younger, you know. I mean, it seemed like people got mad at me for being a critical thinker, and I didn't even realize I was considered a critical thinker by asking certain questions. So the foster family, you know, they were blind, brainwashed, and ignorant. And so quite naturally, we would be, you know, blind, brainwashed, and ignorant. It looked like this meat is cooking kind of fast. See, that's my Tourette's tics right there. So, so I mean, it's like sort of, I mean, I would have never known the truth about, you know, the foster mom, she, like back then, she was the type that would keep us from the internet. If I was in foster care right now, it would be like a prison, and we would not be allowed to have our own cell phones. We wouldn't be allowed to have our own cell phones, laptop, tablet, or the foster mom would have kept us from social media. With her being fake, old-fashioned, and self-righteous, with her fake, abusive, narcissistic, fake morality. She might let Joni use the internet, but then wouldn't let us use the internet. Because I was in 8th grade, and it was very hard to try to convince her to use the internet, to let us use the internet. So, yep. Nowadays, the foster mom, she's the type that we were kids, or social media was, if the social media we have now was back in the 90s, excuse me, she would have she would have banned us, or we wouldn't be allowed to use social media or have phones or anything. But if I would have found out any truth any conspiracy related truth and come to confront, or ask her questions about it, I probably would have got a beat down, a brutal, abusive beat down, and then it would have been discussed with the fake social worker and the psychiatrist, and they probably would have upped my medication or something like that. The fake psych meds. Or they would have tried to make it like as if me researching conspiracies is a form of self-destruct or something like that. I know for a fact, I promise you, that if I was in high school right now, the foster mom would have, kept us blind from social media. And I was 19 years old, and the foster mom yelled at me and got mad at me for getting a brand new cell phone. And then the cell phone got stolen. My very first cell phone got stolen. Yeah, it got stolen within less than a week of having it. I think it was like I had the phone for like 2 or 3 days, and then it got stolen by homeless gang stalkers. So, and then like my phone got stolen and I got robbed. Robbed by a transgender. It was 2 of them. But they were living at that fake Covenant House shelter that I was at in New Orleans. But Covenant House, I heard a lot of bad, scary things about Covenant House. And I also think that I remember hearing about Covenant House being involved in trafficking as well. So, yeah. I don't know. It's like, as I said, I'm feeling so too depressed and too overwhelmed. Too depressed and too overwhelmed to even gather or think, and I'm feeling too traumatized to even think about, the paperwork that lady is demanding for me to turn this in and turn that in. So the Social Security system, it's like they want to keep disabled people to be forced poor. They want to keep you forced poor. And then if you're disabled and they have voc rehab or ticket to work and self-sufficiency, you might have a worker that's going to play psychological games and keep you down, and they won't help you. They won't even help you to better yourself or get any success. It seemed like as if even if you're disabled, the only ones who get help and get success out of their situation. And they probably catch you and try to get you to agree to sell out. And then you hear about this disabled person with a successful work at home job. But, the fake ticket to work lady, Stacy Morgan, in New Orleans at America Works, she made false promises and lied and said that the program would help me to get a new laptop and headset. But I think they said something about it. I had to get my own internet, my own hardwire internet. But I'm like, and then she turned around and lied and gaslit me, and then make it like the only thing that they will buy is a headset. So but I think I had my own laptop at that time, and it seems like, in 2017 I struggled really hard with trying to get jobs, and all these doors closed in my face. I didn't realize it was all part of the gang stalking. So I had fake crusty crackhead perp neighbors who deliberately making so much noise campaigns on purpose. I couldn't get any peace or quiet, and they would threaten me every time I try to tell them to turn the noise down. They would threaten and try to frighten, bully, and intimidate me every time I try to ask them to turn the noise down. So it's a and then they had the white guy. He was abusive and an abusive, narcissistic, fake, controlling neighbor. He was supposedly homeless from New York, and one time he went on a racist rant calling us the N-word and everything. And then he said, "I hate you Southerners." And then he had his dog. He was stinky and dirty, and he had a big, huge dog named Rollo that was also smelly and dirty. And he acted like he wanted to try to force me to worship his dog. Like, fuck you and your dirty dog. So and then they had this other guy. I don't remember what his name was, but I think he got evicted. He was a white man, and he got evicted, and I forgot what. I mean, he was supposedly formerly homeless also, but it seemed like the people who were running the drug trafficking next door to me, they would destroy the property of where I was staying at. Like one time they broke the they had they made me feel unsafe in the house, and they were like when I had on my front door, I had a paper of my homemade gospel track. They tore that down more than once, and they did something to the air conditioner. I think they took the air conditioner out, where it would be easy for anybody to come and just climb through the window and come do anything to me. And when neighbors destroy your property, and then the landlord They don't even want to do anything. So when I was living in Greenville, South Carolina, um, shortly before I left, they left me to feel unsafe, and the door wouldn't lock. And then next, like, cause at first the door got jammed, and I was locked. I don't remember. I don't remember if I was locked outside or locked inside. And then so then they left me with the door with no knob, and they didn't want to do anything about it. And it's just so much stuff that being a targeted individual is like having housing and being homeless on the streets. Both experiences, you got to go through hell and you don't get any peace. So right now I feel like I'm not getting any peace at all. Like, I feel like I can't even rest or relax. I can't even just get a breather because I got all this stressors with you know, with the Social Security thing. So they won't even let us make like a backup income or a second income. If I've been told, with me being on SSI and Social Security and stuff, being blocked from working, I never wanted to live on government assistance. And I wish I would have known about self-employment back or self-sufficiency back then. I mean, I was wondering how other people get to run their own business, but I heard a lot of the times it's not easy. But it seemed like I'm wondering how come some people are allowed to run a business, and how come some other people aren't. If people who have their own business, they act like as if it's a secret, that they don't want to tell you what steps to take in order to get a business opportunity. So while they are proud to flaunt off their business. They're proud to flaunt off their business that they run, but they don't want to tell the secret on how they were able to quit 9 to 5 and run a popular, successful food truck or a restaurant or something. Or if they might find a way to get a bus, and repurpose and convert the bus into like a food truck or something. But I couldn't even operate a food truck or a restaurant because they would have abusive, narcissistic gang stalkers who would falsely accuse me of health code violations and stuff like that. So I mean, I couldn't even run something like that, or they would try to falsely frame me and falsely accuse me of fraud, or this falsely accuse me of failure to do this, or to falsely accuse me of doing that or whatever. So they were making like as if I'm not mentally capable of running a business. But it's a shame how the government forcing people to be enslaved. So people try to tell me that government assistance is not meant for you to live on for the rest of your life. But people get Social Security and SSI and stuff because of determination for permanent disability. So Social Security lied and said that my disability began on. I didn't even know that they had that in the records, that the Social Security, that my disability began on January 11th, 2002. But I've been disabled pretty much all my life. So, but the foster mom was taking my money, taking my Social Security checks, that 365, and she was not my authorized payee. I never did have a payee. But she lied. I mean, she never turned to me and said, "Well, Candy, I'm your payee." But the fact that she was made me hand over the 365 every month, I mistakenly, and her name was nowhere on my checks. So for I mistakenly thought that she was my payee, but I didn't even have much of a clue of what a payee really is. So the foster mom forced me to live with her, stay living with her, and was taking my money, but then acting like she hated me. She acted like she hated me, but then when I tried to move to New Orleans Tower, she was trying to not let me move to New Orleans Towers, but I eventually got in anyway. So if you hate somebody so much, how come? I mean, we were 7 years old in second grade, and probably 6 years old in first grade also. And she used to yell at us and tell us that we're killing her. And I'm almost about to be as old as she was. If she was 41 and 42 years old, she was 41 and 42 years old. And I was 7. And she used to run around the house talking about how we're stressing her out and that we're killing her. And she used to traumatize and terrorize us and make threats to get rid of us. Make threats to send us to these group homes and stuff like that. Now, what if we were her biological kids, and she felt like she couldn't handle us? But if they say me, my twin sister Wyatt, Mark, and Sean, if they try to say that all of us are quote unquote retarded or got mild mental retardation or something like that, because they even would say that Mark is retarded also, or mentally slow. But because of him being glorified behind skin color, that's why they try to make like he's mentally normal with common sense. So, or that he's mature. Abusive people don't deserve to be called mature. Because he can get very childish and petty when you get into an argument with him. They used to call me, my twin sister, and Mark, and I think Sean too. They used to call us cross-eyed. Or they'll call me cockeyed. So, me and my twin sister had the eye surgery. We both had eye surgery, but I had the nose surgery, but she didn't have the nose surgery. And so they said we both had laser surgery on our eyes. My twin sister was 4 years old, and I think they said something about that she had to walk with braces on her legs. I kind of really don't remember that, but we both had to go to speech therapy. But not together. But I remember being, I think I was 2 or 3 years old, more like 2, going to speech therapy. And they used to have a man who used to come pick me up. They trusted that man to pick me up in his car and transport me to go to speech therapy. I don't remember him. I don't have any memory of him doing me anything dirty or anything, but I just remember me being a kid and riding in the car with this man to go to speech therapy. And I remember Mr. Potato Head. I remember playing with Mr. Potato Head. You know, but my evaluation records and all that, I don't have everything, but the foster mom gave me what she wanted me to have. But, but the foster mom sent the most embarrassing slander and mental health records to Nichols State University. And when I questioned her about it, her response was the same as when, and I started crying. And her response was the same as when I asked her about, lying to the voc rehab counselor, saying that I'm schizophrenic. So for me to not be schizophrenic, her and the fake social worker made up a lie saying I'm schizophrenic just to get me on Social Security and SSI. So whenever I would try to ask Social Security and SSI people, what do you have me diagnosed as in order for me to start getting benefits? Social Security people, they never want to tell me. And then when dealing with the fake mental health people, they would put me on these psych medications and then hide my diagnosis from me. And I would ask them, what do you have me diagnosed as? And they say, well, don't focus on the diagnosis. Just don't worry about the diagnosis. Just focus on getting better. And they keep saying, well, you're sick. You're sick. And then they will sneak behind my back. And, these new doctors that don't know me when I got to start all the way from scratch. And within less than 5 minutes of talking to me, they will have me diagnosed, like at the mental hospital, this doctor, within less than 5 minutes of talking to me, he falsely diagnosed me with schizoaffective when he knew nothing about me. And then try to force me to take psychiatric medications that according to his fake opinion about me. Like with hearing less than 5 minutes of me, because I knew nothing about gang stalking at that time. So less than 5 minutes of talking to me, and I just mentioned about family abuse with the biological family. I didn't even get to talk about the foster family yet. In less than 5 minutes, you already got a false diagnosis of schizoaffective, something I would have never been diagnosed with. And it's like their fake diagnosis is what their opinion of you is. So 2019, they had that abusive fake perp doctor. I mean, he was a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. With the Voc Rehab, he tried to lie and thought it was funny to falsely diagnose me and lie and say that I have schizophrenia and schizoaffective plus personality disorder, like an unidentified personality disorder. Nobody had ever diagnosed me with any personality disorder before. But that was that lady that put stuff in his head beforehand, and she knew nothing about me. When they hire these abusive people to work for vocational rehabilitation, that fake Ben Lee Denton lady, she she refused to help me in Denton, Texas, and it's like everybody was heavily restricting me from working in Denton, Texas. I mean, and Los Angeles, I could not get a job anywhere. So I had to go back. I mean, in Greenville, South Carolina, I couldn't get a job nowhere. And they had that place where the homeless women were working. I forgot the name of the bakery that they would work at. They definitely would have workplace mobbed me, because the same women who were bullying me at the shelter, they would have bullied me at the at the bakery in Simpsonville, South Carolina. So I don't remember the name of the bakery that's in Simpsonville that they hire homeless women to work at. But they would have workplace mobbed me off that job. It was like a temp service job. And then I heard in Greenville, South Carolina, they had a temp service job where people work at like a chicken factory and forced to work for hours and then not allowed to use the bathroom. That sounds like slavery. And my heart goes out to anybody who has to be forced to work like that. So it's like, I'm feeling in distress and feeling so uneasy about, I don't know what's going to happen to me. Maybe nothing will happen, and maybe I could get to stay here through September, October, November, December, or whatever. But I mean, what justice can I get from the lady that falsely calls herself Miss Kister or whatever? What justice or what complaint can I make about her abuse towards me? When, if you deal with an abusive, narcissistic, oppressive Social Security office worker, what they'll do is they will, the manager would always the manager will always side with them. The office manager will always side with the workers, never with the I don't know what we call, not patients, because we, I don't know if they would call us customers or whatever, at the Social Security office. I guess clients or something. I don't know. But yeah, as I said, this was a gang stalking setup that they set me up with this woman to terrorize and frighten me out of my home and make me back homeless, or for them to try to make it like for me to have to go to jail or prison or something. Well, she didn't threaten me with jail or prison over the phone, but she threatened to suspend my benefits for a Tourette's outburst because a perp was passing by blasting loud music, and she was already triggered and provoked and upset me and was rude and smartass. And then she lied and said that she was not rude through any part of the phone conversation. She lied. So I'm traumatized, and I'm sitting. I don't know I don't know what decision to make or what to do. But I'm tired of them being abusive towards disabled people. And then, they want to force people to live on low income and just, to live off of crumbs. There's no no affordable housing available. I'm gang stalked and blacklisted, being blocked from working or having my own business opportunity. The gang stalkers ruin and sabotage everything. I don't even get that much support with my writings. Most of my writings get ignored. And then, if y'all think my writing is poor because of me being sleep deprived chronically, so after I announced that I was going to work on a foster care ebook, that was when they started attacking me with directed energy weapons and causing me that bad vertigo. The vertigo and nausea. Yeah, those were directed energy weapon attacks. So, yeah, I know what they were doing. So they're sitting here killing me up in here. They're killing me up in here. Microwaving me to death. Microwaving lots of us to death. And then force you to be homeless. And then try to criminalize you trying to survive. But if I didn't get or apply for food stamps, then I would have to be asking y'all for help with donations for money for food. And Social Security would use that. I didn't even know if they would want to use that and reduce my my income or whatever. So that lady told me over the phone that she thinks that publishing my ebook, she considered me to be self-employed. But the online gang stalker said that is not work. And then they sabotaged all my ebooks on purpose. At first, I was getting support with my ebooks and my writing from other people. So, I wish people would, if the struggle is bad enough that people have to go to social media for help. And then they figure that anything on the internet is not to be taken seriously. And online or in person, it's very hard for people to get help. But then people don't want to give us a job. They don't want to give homeless a job. And they want to punish the poor, punish the homeless, oppress us. And they have no heart. So, but they care so much about stray animals, though. People raise up money for a GoFundMe for people who are already rich, like the white boy who went and knocked on everybody's door asking, "Can you be my friend?" And then they put up a GoFundMe, and he got, like, I don't know how much, so many, like, thousands of dollars for a kid who just wanted a friend. But or they would put up a GoFundMe for their dog's birthday party. But y'all want to criminalize the homeless that's trying to live and survive and trying to get help. I mean, y'all, just because the boy wanted a friend, and then they made that a viral GoFundMe. And they got plenty of targeted individuals who have a GoFundMe. And we're not getting that really, we're getting little to no help. And even if they're not homeless, they still got up a GoFundMe fundraiser. If you go to the GoFundMe website and type in targeted individuals, gang stalking, or even narcissistic abuse, domestic violence, human trafficking, they got campaigns. But I'm the only one. Ever since my twin sister, I'm the only one who's falsely called a scammer. And then the same ones who falsely called me a scammer, they got GoFundMe up themselves, hypocritically and narcissistically. And my twin sister will sit there and tell everybody, "Don't donate to me," but then she would tell everybody, "Don't donate to me," but then she would donate money to donate GoFundMe money to strangers. But my twin sister just wanted to take, like, she got the video of family pictures. She got that wrongfully taken down. And then, she didn't want to be exposed as a perp, and she just trying to gaslight and smear campaign because she does not, because she wants to take the focus off of herself. And it's like, she wants to lie and say, "You are not being gang stalked, and I can prove it." Well, I got proof that I am being gang stalked, and I got proof that you are a perp. But everybody wants to, even professed targeted individuals, they secretly separate themselves from me when I tell them about her. But she can have a whole fake gang cult army of flying monkeys to back her up, and people who claim that they're targeted as well, they refuse to listen to me while they're all on her ass. It's just backwards. And she's just fucking getting away with everything. There are a couple of people, not many, whose eyes are open to what she's doing. Only a very small amount of people who got on her case. And somebody had called her out, and so another person had called her out as a perp. But I never heard of no shit like that. One twin is homeless, and the other twin is, living the high life and being rich. And then she prides herself on doing everything in secret. But she's so bold and tough, but everything got to be a secret. A deadbeat mother. You're a deadbeat mother trying to call me crazy. I have to be harassed and abused just about every day with the online perps talking about, tell me what you did to Raven. But my twin sister she is not angry with herself at neglecting and abusing her own kids. And I'm going to say it again. My story has been consistent and has not changed all these years. But y'all won't listen to me. And my twin sister has freaking manipulated me out of money before Hurricane Katrina. She was bullying and manipulating me out of, and trying to blackmail and manipulate me out of money. Scam me out of money. But as I said, she lied and said that I'm a clout seeking schizophrenic, and people won't even recognize that she's a gang stalker. And it's like she got everybody feeling sorry for her. She put up fundraisers before too. And it's like her heart is hardened, and she is very abusive and vicious towards me. If there's a word worse than vicious, that's what she is. But you neglect and ignore your kids and leave them to drink out of toilets and eat their own feces. Starving and leaving your kids to have the same bib and the same diaper for 3 weeks. But I'm so crazy, who shouldn't be allowed to have children. But if I did all this to your kids, why did you call me up begging me in 2009, 2010? You called me up begging me to take custody of your kids. And they cried and, wanted everybody to feel sorry for you because nobody in the family wanted to take your kids. When she got mad talking about that Pete and Ramona didn't want to take the kids in. But she falsely lies and said that everybody did something to her kids except herself. I do believe she's into some ritual stuff. And, at least half of my siblings are into the dark arts, voodoo or whatever. But yeah, just dealing with family, I have to be subjected to just, nothing but just abuse. Just abuse. So, and society makes it to where my twin sister has more rights than I do. That she get praised for everything I get punished for, undeservingly. Y'all criminalize me for eating. But I'm in a disbelief that my entire family has a cold heart towards me. Very, extremely unmerciful. They show no mercy. no mercy towards me. My twin sister is proud to have her knee in my neck and show no, like, glad to show no mercy. No mercy. But she'll be merciful and forgiving towards everybody else. But I have to hear narcissistic lectures about how I'm so hateful, that I'm the one who's evil. Then lie and say that I'm pure evil. I don't even practice the dark arts or voodoo or witchcraft or the occult or the esoteric. So it's like my mind is all over. I didn't get enough sleep, and my mind is all over the place right now. My mind is all over the place right now. I can't even function. So it probably was about 4 o'clock this morning. Somewhere between 4 and 6 o'clock. I don't remember. No. I don't remember if it was before. No, you know what? It was about 6 o'clock this morning. 6 o'clock this morning, I had crackers and peanut butter. Well, peanut butter with honey. It had honey infused in the peanut butter. I should have got me some more crackers. So, peanut butter and crackers. And then I had a candy bar because of feeling, feeling the way I've been feeling. And so then it was 6:30 or 7 o'clock. I fell asleep and went to sleep, and I guess I woke up. It was after 11 o'clock. So I don't remember if I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I put on the pasta and it was kind of mushy and overcooked. And then, I feel disappointed about the meat. But I hope I don't accidentally swallow any of the paper. I hope I don't accidentally swallow the paper. I didn't even know. So, well, I don't know if it was paper or cotton or, that pad that they put at the bottom of the meat. Some of the paper had came off when I didn't know, I didn't even feel it when I thought that was just the meat by itself. So, but I would hate to throw all that meat away. But at the same time, I'm scared. I'm scared because, of having any paper inside of my body. But maybe I hope there's a way that I can pick the meat out. Pick the paper out. Or if I'm hoping that the paper doesn't get like camouflage where I can't even feel the paper in my mouth and just the meat. I mean, I really wanted to do something really special, you know, with the meat, you know. And I bought some Romano cheese and the butternut squash pasta sauce. So, I guess that's me being sleep deprived, how clumsy I can be. So, uh, so yeah, I'm like really feeling scared. I'm really feeling scared about, you know, being back homeless on the streets, and even more scared of if any threats about me going to prison or anything for something that I didn't know or that I wasn't sure of. But, you know, the lady tried to falsely paint, that would upset anyone. If she got an attitude and got snappy and made it like as if I knew what I was doing by trying to, you know, get stocks and not tell them, or invest in a stock with and not tell them. But um as I said, I didn't even make anything, so I didn't know that I had to report it. But I don't even know if they just giving me a hard time. But that lady was just talking trash and just telling me any fucking thing. I think she was trolling by trying to make it like I'm not allowed to make a living with my ebooks. And then she put in all caps online donations, that I had to send her all these bank statements and all the online donations and everything. Just all y'all can do is reduce my benefits, so that it would be a vicious cycle for, if they take away any benefits that's not benefits, it's a trap, then I would have to ask for more money to survive, or end up back homeless and still having to beg for and panhandle for survival. And then the online perps, they were talking about, they were trolling and harassing me, talking about me being a menace to Pensacola. And Starbricker was the biggest instigator, talking about how they should put plaster posters all over downtown Pensacola to warn them about me and tell them not to give me or donate me anything. Do y'all really expect me to fucking die? Because Starbricker, since 2019, she's been playing a game that she's been rubbing her hands together. You know, Starbricker wants me to commit suicide. She would keep trying to trigger and provoke and push me over the edge. She wants me to commit suicide. But you know, you don't have to, if you don't like me that much, I mean, if you hate me that much, then, you know, just disconnect anything associated with me and go on about your life. But they want to stalk and control you until they succeed at getting rid of you from this earth, even if it takes for somebody else to murder you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like feeling high anxiety about so much. Like, I haven't felt this troubled and depressed in a long time. And if I had to be out on the streets, out, you know, out in public and out in the open, I would have been irritable and snapping at everybody because of what I'm going through. I mean, you should not put somebody through this type of abuse. I mean, you criminalize somebody's self sufficiency and attempts at independence, and you want to force people to be a lifelong slave to Social Security and SSI. But then, due to me being blacklisted with the gang stalking, they make sure I can't make a living. So they want to try to scare me and frighten me and criminalize me for trying to get help from other people. But I will continue to write more short stories, ebooks, and blogs and everything until I die. I mean, so you're going to criminalize $41 out of a whole year. That is much of nothing. I mean, so, I mean, all I'm, trying to do is sit here and trying to survive. They're raising the cost of living. They got everything shortage and everything. They're raising the prices on food, gas, bills, everything. So, you know, as I said, I'm sitting here focused. I mean, being distracted with the gang stalking, and then me fighting for my life. Um, I'm sitting here constantly in survival mode. So I mean, I'm feeling so depressed that I don't even want to see society. I don't even want to see the public. But I mean, if she's a gang stalker, then she should be punished for a fraud. Punish the gang stalkers before you punish a damn target trying to survive. But I'm traumatized that I don't want to contact the Social Security people no more. I want to go no contact with them, just like going no contact with the narcissist. Because just about almost every last worker is a damn perp. An abusive, narcissistic, gang stalking bully. They're bullies. I had a bad experience in 2021. But in November 2021, um, with a Social Security worker in Pensacola, I don't even remember her name. So I don't know. I just I don't know. I mean, I just can't. I mean, I'm having difficulty expressing how I feel or verbalizing how I feel. They wouldn't even give me a job and let me work. Or the Social Security is too low, or SSI is too low, and there's no affordable housing, and the employers want 3.5 times the rent. I mean, I'm sorry, the landlords want 3.5 times the rent, and hardly any landlords take in Section 8, and Section 8 is hard to get on, and it's just so many problems. But I'm not even trying to commit any crimes. But y'all sold y'all soul to the devil and can have a license to abuse and exploit. And I heard that they forced the targeted individual to have as little income as possible. As I said, if it weren't for the foster mom rubbing her hands together waiting on that back pay to steal from me, and I would throw that in her face, and then her fake response would be, yeah, I know I've been stealing your money for 21 years, when I would be 20 years old, and she will over exaggerate my age. I mean, I was still in junior high and high school, and I would always throw in her face about how she been stealing my money, and she'd be like, ha ha ha, yeah, I know, and she would pretend to be fake sarcastic and play sight games, and when she would say all her abusive stuff to me, and then when I argue back and stand up for myself, she would audio record me going off and making me look crazy. And they had a video meme about that on TikTok for if you're dealing with a domestic violence partner, and then they will start trouble with you, and then when you strike back with the reactive abuse, they'll record you and then be like, ha ha ha, see, I told you she was crazy. So the foster mom would think that recording me to go off, is supposed to keep me in line and try to keep me quiet or try to silence me from exposing everything that she fucking did to me. And I could have died in foster care. She even threatened to kill me more than once. But she herself would narcissistically lecture me, talk about me being so mean and hateful. Well, motherfucker, I get it from you. I get it from you. So she would audio record me with a tape recorder, and then threaten to show it to the social worker and the psychiatrist, and try to terrify and intimidate and threaten and scare me, and try to say that she will send it to them so that they could up my medication, or she would try to tell me that for me to, or she'd be like, I'm gonna call Miss Pierce and have you removed. Or she would narcissistically lecture me about following the rules of her house. Even the fake social worker, Miss Pierce, because the fake foster mom made it a fake rule. Because the other cult members told her to make it a rule that if we quote unquote behaving badly, they want us to go to the fake IDMR cult meetings as a punishment. Her flying monkeys putting ideas in her head. Just like and dealing with my twin sister is a repeat of the foster mom's abuse all over again. So I mean, I don't even know. Like, so people are saying let go of the past, but I'm still suffering from the fucking past. I'm still suffering from my childhood. And the foster mom was invincible. Nobody ever held her accountable for her abusive crimes. But everybody defended and agreed with her with everything. Saying that she had a right to punish me, she had a right to do this and had a right to do that. Or that I deserve such and such punishment. I was forced poverty all my life. But you know what? I think I did have a few jobs where I may have made over $1,000 in a month. But I never got to make, $500 a week. It would be like $500 every 2 weeks. Or at the most, I'd be lucky if it's $700 every 2 weeks. But I mean, I don't even get a job where I can make $2,000 a month. Earned income from work. I'm sitting here living in poverty and struggling, and then falsely accused of being a scammer, or falsely accused of trying to game the system. I don't even know how to game the system or to try to get over on the system, and I never did before. I'm not even strategic or skilled and on how to game or scam the system on purpose and deliberately, and not get caught. I don't even make attempts to try to do that. If I didn't know that I had to report the stocks, and I didn't make any money from it, except maybe $1, and I sold that because I don't even remember how long I had the stocks, but there was another targeted individual. I think I saw her on TikTok, and she showed some video footage of herself with stocks, and it's like, this must be a targeted individual thing, that if a targeted individual invests in stocks, then the stocks just keep going down. So I mistakenly thought that investing in a stock, because CashApp kept advertising it. So, they say invest with as little as $1. So I had 2 different stocks. And I don't even remember off the top of my head which ones they were. I had to go back and look. But so I mean, how do they expect me to get this information? And then the ladies like saying it with this, oh, you should send in this information, send in that information, and she sounded demanding and a bully with it. like as if she wanted to give me that constant reminder that I deserve to be punished. I'm just fucking sick and tired of Social Security Administration. They're corrupt and they don't even update your information properly. When you do try to do your part, like why are they demanding that I send in paperwork from the temp service when I already sent that in? I mean, it's an unbearable headache. I just can't deal with it. I just can't deal with it. They are ruining and fucking with my mental health. But that's funny because, you know, if they call you crazy, they think that I'm so mentally incompetent that I shouldn't be able to drive a car or shouldn't be allowed to drive a car. But then, you know, they called me crazy and mentally incompetent and all that. But then, if it's time to be held, for them to falsely accuse me of something and try to hold me accountable, then they would think that I'm not too insane to be able to stand trial. Or they would try to make like as if I have a conscience and knew exactly what I was doing. When something you're trying to falsely frame me with or trying to falsely accuse me of. I'm having difficulty in living with myself right now. Shucks. I mean, many Americans are trying to turn to multiple streams of income or trying to diversify their income because even work is not enough from their job. And then people talk about nobody wants to work. It's not that people don't want to work. People don't want to deal with toxic, tyrant, abusive, narcissistic bosses who are bullies, abusing their power, and then people end up with stress-related health problems that make them more disabled. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff I was ignorant of that I did not know that I wish I knew back then, you know. So, you know, the online gang stalkers, they sit back and watch my videos and just laugh. Laugh at my suffering. And brag about, oh yeah, you going down, you going down. So they think that this is funny and they want to falsely accuse me of being guilty of something. You know, I mean the online gang stalkers, I don't even nothing that they say is to be believed because everything that they say is lies. And they're not interested in helping me. They don't have my best interest at heart. There was a white female on TikTok that online bullies, cyber bullies, set her up to get her child taken away and falsely accuse her of being alcoholic or on drugs or something. And her 5-year-old daughter was terrified. And then the police that was trying to take her kid, they were trying to say, take that camera out of your daughter's face. You're traumatizing her. But she was showing proof of, them trying to traffic her child and take her child away. Seems like even white people are being trafficked too. Any and all races of people seem like we being trafficked. And it's backwards with the foster care system, that the foster family you grew up with, you knew them as family. And after you turn 18 and deal with the biological family, your biological family is like strangers to you. And none of my family have a natural kind of love towards me. None of them care. I'm convinced, in 2007, I used to ask on Yahoo Answers, I would ask for advice. And I would ask, my family hate me so much. If I were to die, would I deserve a funeral? I used to ask those questions. The biological family, they were already abusive, but the abuse increased and they became more abusive after Hurricane Katrina. And then even more abusive after the biological parents passed away. But my own twin sister and Mark and them, they were always beyond vicious. So I heard rumors, people say that the biological sister Belinda, I don't even know if they waited till she died just to lie for her and make her look good. But they trying to make like as if Belinda tried to fight tooth and nail to get custody of us or try to get us. And Wyatt was the only one that she got when he was 13 and we were. He was 13 and we were 9. And the foster mom did not tell us that Wyatt went to Wisconsin. All we know is Wyatt disappeared. Or last we knew, he was in a group home. That same group home that we were in for a couple of days. I think we ended up going there twice. And it's mind-shattering just to be a child in a group home away from who you knew or who you thought was your family. And, they led us on to think that we were supposed to be at that group home permanently. It was really scary being at the group home. So it was really scary. So, oh wow, it's been over an hour and 45 minutes. I might have to go because I'm the storage space is running out.